A middle-aged man has been killed at Choggu Manayile in Tamale, the northern regional capital. It's unclear what caused his death, but residents are saying he was killed by police stray bullets during a confrontation this afternoon. Correspondent Martina Bugri joins us on the line with more. Martina, give us a bit of background on this story.
Now we are told that two people stole some cattle and then they tied them in a forest nearby the Choggu Manayile community. Lucky looted them and they caught them. Now they sent them to the chief palace, and apparently the people were agitated. They wanted to lynch the suspect. So the assemblyman said he was called in to get the police to come and rescue the man. And so he called the police. The police came in. The police. He says that yes. He says that he handed over the suspect to the police. Now the people got agitated because they wanted to lynch the guy and they will not be allowed. And so they started throwing stones and missiles at the police that had arrived to pick the man. In the process, it hit the vehicle of the police, and so they started firing gunshots to disperse the police. According to the assemblyman, he said that he was standing by the man. Somebody had tried to grab the suspect, and the police grabbed him. And so he was standing there when he heard a sound, and then all he saw was that the person the police had grabbed was on the ground with blood oozing from his stomach. So I asked him who shot him. He said he doesn't know who shot him, but what he can say is that he was shot. I also spoke to the police, and they are saying that they are unable to say whether it's a gunshot until an autopsy is done. Now I've been speaking to the community members, and they are saying that they have had people come into the community and steal, and so they've been very vigilant. And this is as a result they have been able to pick some people that they suspect to be thieves.
So have these persons, these suspects, have they been jailed?
I didn't get that, Daniel.
These suspects who were almost lynched by the crowd, are they now in police custody?
They are with the police, I'm told. This
person who is wounded, is he receiving medical treatment or he is back at home?
He actually died. He's actually dead now.
Do we know who he is? Do we know his family?
We have tried to speak to the community members. Nobody seems to know him. The assemblyman also says he's not a known person in the community, and the police also say that no one has come to report of a missing person yet.
Unfortunate story there. Thank you very much, Martina. The regional crime officer for the Northern Region, Choggu Manayile, has joined us via Zoom. Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for joining us. Now, if Mr. Choggu can hear me, what is the report you have received concerning the death of this person?
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, yesterday in the evening we received a report that a young man, a suspected thief, was being lynched. So we dispatched our officers to the scene, and then they were able to rescue the suspected thief. According to the information, he had stolen 2 cows, and that's the chief, and then the cows were at the palace. So they went there and they were able to rescue the suspected thief. And at the time that they were escorting the suspected thief to the police van, then people started throwing, the agitated youth started throwing missiles, implements, even some fired guns, and one of our officers was even injured in the hand, and the prognosis by the doctor suggested that it was a gunshot. So in the process of putting the suspect in the vehicle, and also they were able to arrest 2 other suspects who had obstructed and were part of the agitated mob. So in the process of putting them in the vehicle, then one of the suspects shot at. So quickly we rushed him to the hospital, and later he died at the hospital.
This person who was shot, help us understand what role he was playing there. Was he a bystander? Was he a suspect? What was he prior to the shooting? What role was he playing there?
Yes, the suspected thief that had been rescued is different from this person who had died. This person who had died was part of the agitated mob who was, very furious at the police for having not allowed them to lynch the suspected thief. So he was part of the mob that were attacking the police. So he was arrested together with one other. And in the process of putting him in the vehicle, that he was hit. And then we rushed him to the hospital and he passed on. And it's also instructive to state that one of our officers also sustained some injuries in the hand. And the prognosis done by the doctor suggested that he was also hit by gunshots.
Have you identified the officer who fired the gun that killed this person?
We are unable to even know whether the shot came from the police or the mob, unless a postmortem is done to establish the cause of death.
When are you expecting to do this postmortem?
Yes, for now we are trying to identify the disease and then get to know his family, the family, so that the family will be present at the postmortem to identify the body to the medical doctor.
Are these police officials still at post? These police officials who were involved in this incident?
Yes, they are in post. Yes, the injured officer has just been treated and discharged. All of the officers we sent for the rescue mission are at post.
Thank you very much for joining us. He is the regional crime officer for the Northern Region.